All right, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. It is Wednesday. Show the folks how they can get in touch. I have plenty of liquids here. Show the folks how they can get in touch with the show. There's the phone number, and that's a 24/7 number. You can text the show. You can text the show, call us. And also there's the email address and the social media ways you can follow the show. Now, I want to say quickly before I move on to our next subject this morning, yes, I get it. I get it. You bring an industry here, you give them a good tax advantage. Then the people move here and they got to buy houses and they pay property tax. And I get it. I have been to the whole circle of economic development classes that I could go to. I get it, all right? I think what I want to say in a much, calm down a little bit, I think really what I want to say, the only thing I want to make reference to is don't forget, Georgia, we had an economy and we suffered the economic downturn like the rest of the country. Yes, we did. But, you know, Georgia has had an economy and has been one of the fastest growing states until the recession. But, you know, we didn't have to give everything away for us to grow out of the recession. That's just my point. Okay, so, yes, obviously, they want to impeach the President of the United States. I think, and I don't have inside information on this, I think there's a group inside internally that say it's now or never, okay? And the reason I say that, I say Democrats are in the back room putting a strategy together for a couple reasons. One, I think they feel they're going to lose the presidency, that no one's going to beat Trump. And I'm going to explain that in a minute, my reasoning for that. I do think there's a couple of them that are afraid that he has the kind of coattails. And that's what presidential, elections are about, is those coattails, okay? Now, Trump was not on the ballot in 2018. The media is going to leave you to believe that the enthusiasm was so high that Democrats rushed out and wanted to vote against Trump, and that's how they won their majority. And I won't go into that. I'm not going to go down that road. I think in 2018, the Republicans suffered the losses and lost the majority based on people like Paul Ryan, based on the Republicans in Congress, the ones that retired, that knew it was up, it was over, the party's done. The ones that are just not interested in Trump and draining the swamp and working with the president. And, the Republican Party, not to go down the road of beating up the Republican Party, but, the Republican Party has lied. This is my opinion. Many of them in the House of Representatives and the Senate, but have lied to the American people to where they said, we're not sending you back. All right, so let's not go down that road. I think Democrats think that Republicans will win the White House. I think there's a group of them that are nervous they could win back the majority in the House, win the majority in the Senate, and they are in deep you-know-what. Do you realize with an Attorney General, William Barr, now stop and think, a President Donald Trump, and this guy right here, number 74. Now, this is my congressman, okay? And if you'll look on the little placard underneath him, it says ranking member. This is Congressman Doug Collins. He is the 9th Congressional District, Georgia 9th Congressman Doug Collins, ranking member. What that means is Republicans are in the minority, okay? They are in the minority, And this is a simple campaign speech right here. I can make this really simple of why we need to get out and work. This is a good congressman. Now, I don't endorse candidates, and I don't like to brag about politicians. Damn, I can't stand if I brag about a politician. This is a good congressman. This is a congressman that's standing up for the president. This is a congressman that's fighting the battle. And on the House Judiciary Committee, that's where impeachment goes through. Impeachment goes through the House Judiciary Committee. And this guy right here is the ranking member on the minority side for the Republicans, Doug Collins. Now, give me number 73. Now, this is Collins also, another shot. So who would he replace, okay, if we could win back the House? Okay, number 58. This is the chairman, the bullfrog. This is bullfrog. I call him a bullfrog, okay? Nadler. Our subpoenas are not optional, okay? He is the chairman. So if we can win back the House, Collins sits there in the Judiciary Committee. Now, let me say this. Let me put this together because I want you to go home and think about this because I only have 2 hours a day. If Collins shifts over to the Judiciary Committee and William Barr, okay, Attorney General, starts through the investigations of the genesis of this coup, and we start hauling Comey in, Loretta Lynch in, Peter Strzok back in, Ben Rhodes, oh God, the list goes on, Brennan, Clapper, and Collins is in that chair. Do you realize Doug Collins as the House chair of the Judiciary Committee, plus the others in their chairman positions in other committees, but Collins in there as the chair, William Barr is the Attorney General, Lindsey Graham, which I know we're all still wondering, you know, he was abducted, probed, and sent back down, and he's a new guy, okay? Lindsey Graham, all right, as the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and Donald Trump as president of the United States. Holy mackerel, could we put some Democrats in jail then? They're scared to death, folks. They are a nervous wreck. They're losing the courts. I mean, you take the Judiciary Committee with Lindsey Graham having about 63 Republicans, and we keep putting the people in the courts. That's where we've lost for a long time. So let me get past that, but I do think they're going to lose. Now, let me tell you why. I'm going to give you the simple of why they're going to lose. Now, this is what they're going to lead you to believe. All right? This is every day. All right? Look at number 14. All right? Now, the Democrats will lose. We've got to do the work, okay? Now, this is the best they have. They have 23 candidates. Nobody's excited. Now, as the media tells you the lies, and here's what I want to do for the next hour and a half, is point out the just plain lies, their narrative, and what they hope you'll believe, okay? Remember, Republicans had 17 candidates, right? It took what, 3 months before Donald Trump as a primary candidate shot up the charts like a hit song and started getting thousands to show up for rallies? It did not take long. And the Republican enthusiasm, if you go through, Ted Cruz was getting 5,000, 6,000. I mean, the enthusiasm was amazing for these candidates. Some not so much, but several of them there was. There was some great enthusiasm on the Republican primary side. There were great crowds showing up to see these candidates, okay? I mean, Carly Fiorina was in South Carolina getting thousands of people to show up to see her at these meet and greets. The excitement level at that time, 2016, was through the roof for Republicans. And Donald Trump became the front runner. And when he became the front runner in the primary with all these other candidates, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, little Marco, okay, Trump was starting to bring in 10, 12,000. I mean, he was blowing up. And this is before the general election. Trump was bringing in thousands at these rallies. Look at this list. Biden is down 3 points, according to this poll. He was at 30. He's at 35 now. Sanders is up 5. No enthusiasm for these candidates. They are stopping nowhere. No, their base is not even excited. Do you realize everywhere they stop, all they're getting is the core Democrats that have to show up because they're getting notes? Let me tell you what they do, okay? They send out emails. Hey, we can't be embarrassed. I'm serious, they do. Now, they might not quote say that. One of them could leak, but hey, don't let the media, say we're not enthusiastic. We need 300 people there tomorrow. Now, I don't have specific facts, but they pay people, they bus people, they beg them and tell them, hey, do you want to let people think we have no enthusiasm? They can't get a couple thousand people at anything. I'm telling you, they're not excited about this guy, all right? They should have a candidate by now. They should have one candidate that people are flocking to saying, I want to see what this person is all about. I want to see what this candidate's all about. I mean, like me, I'm not going to show any interest in a Democrat. But if one of these candidates just was a real standout and real charismatic and really the person and said, hey, they're going to be down in Atlanta. That's an hour and a half from me, I'm going to say. I'm not sure, but maybe I'd go and say, what's this all about? I'd like to go see this guy or this lady and see what all the excitement's about. Not one candidate do they have that there's enough interest that people want to drive anywhere to see what they're about. People they do not want to go see these candidates. And everything is staged in the media to make it look like that Donald Trump loses to all of them. I'm serious. Nobody is excited in this country to go see what these candidates are about. No interest, okay? Now, give me number 15. These are the lies that will be fed on a daily basis. Politico, Trump scrambles to reverse Rust Belt slide. Folks, there's no Rust Belt slide. There's not any. Absolutely no Rust Belt slide. You got to think in Trump in two ways. Pre-president, president. Okay? Serious. Do you realize when he won his election in 2016, you and I both did not know what the hell this guy would really do. That was a chance we were willing to take. He went on a campaign trail. He said everything. What were they telling you and I? Well, he won't. He won't appoint conservative judges. He's really that Manhattan liberal. Okay, he won't. He will not. He's not pro-life. He's that Manhattan liberal. He won't cut regulations. He's a true Democrat through and through. Every day you have to realize that you have pre-election and post-election Trump. And pre-election Trump, it was a chance we were willing to take. Post-election Trump. Now, let me say this, and I know I'm not getting sidetracked. I'm just trying to get the wheels turning. On Election Day, that Tuesday, he lands Trump Force One. Trump Force One, okay? He lands it outside of Detroit at like 12:50 a.m. Tuesday morning, Election Day. And at 12:50 a.m., outside of Detroit, Michigan, this guy had 12 or 14,000 people still waiting for him. Because he had done 5 on that day, right? But he was not going to stop until he went to Michigan. 12:50 a.m. Still 14,000 people at this airport at that time in the morning on Election Day waiting for him. They were listening to somebody that they were willing to take a chance on. And he won. He's the legitimate president. Despite anything they tell you, he is the legitimate president of the United States. Now we know him. Now we feel we know him. Now we feel we know what he will do. He didn't lie about the judges. He put them on the bench. And another thing, if you have a chance, go into the lower courts and look at the kind of judges that have been put on the bench and the lower courts that we're replacing every day. We keep looking at 2 Supreme Court judges, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Look at the lower level courts and what they're doing. He told us the truth. Regulations, cut, slashed, told us the truth. Tax breaks, corporate tax slash, repatriating trillions of dollars coming back in this country. He told us the truth. Pro-life, he told us the truth. See, this was a chance we were willing to take. This is what we know. And the American people, folks, regardless of what the media says, they're okay. And they're enjoying life. Because see, here at 12:50 a.m. Election Day, not knowing who this guy really will be in the Oval Office and what he really will do, 12 to 14,000 were waiting. Now that we know, guess what? Crowds are not going down. It's not like, hey, he didn't meet our expectations, so this guy lands Air Force One in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. Nowhere. And 15,000 people are there. 10,000 are outside. 70,000 sign up on the internet for tickets. Democrats are scared. SH, asterisk, 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 a couple asterisks. Lists. They are scared to death. Look. Trump scrambles to reverse Rust Belt slide. The Trump campaign recently completed a 17-state polling project that concluded the president trails Joe Biden in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, according to 2 people briefed. According to 2 people. Who in the hell are these 2 people briefed on the results? It's not true, folks. It's absolutely not true. Let me find what else I wanted to put up here. Okay, I got it here. Yes, we're going to talk about impeachment in a minute. But I wanted to talk about... Now, let's put this up again, and you may not be able to see it. Number 69. And the only reason I'm putting this up is MSNBC. Okay, if you can see on the bottom. Okay, this is the same exact graphic with a different timestamp. If you were able to see under the MSNBC, the timestamp's different. They run with this stuff all day long. All day long. Number 70. This lady can't wait to get on TV to tell me at 2:10 Mountain Time means 5:10 a.m. She starts the day. Trump campaign manager reacts to bad results. Reports internal polls show Trump losing Wisconsin, Michigan, and PA. Suppression, okay? Let's go to number 71, Brad Parscale, Trump 2020 campaign manager, okay? The truth is, the picture being painted is intentionally false because the information only pertains to a subset of questions asked The media's general fixation on reporting head-to-head matchups polling 18 months before an election is pointless because the results are speculative as to be almost meaningless. Okay? And I had one more comment I thought from him. I think I sent that to you twice, Josh. I apologize. But so Trump is rushing, according to them, to save the Rust Belt. So let me frame it another way. The media is doing everything they can to try to reconstruct the blue wall for Democrats. They're rushing to see if they can't rebuild the blue wall in Wisconsin, Michigan, and PA. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. And I'm going to paint the picture of exactly why I think the Democrats are feeling they're going to lose and could lose the House. Take us a break, Josh.